Jeez, if I sound super congested, because I am. We made a bunch of blue. What is this? I think it's just blue dye. And we have a bunch kind of backed up here for the main line, but we need the throughput to like match what we're currently using. Excuse me, I'm coughing left and right. Like, this is cool. We can like unload this when we need it, but I think we're gonna need a bit more. We did just unlock freight. Is this it right here? Nope, that's the salvager. Where's freight? Oh, this one right here. One thing I kind of learned when I played the first time, to build the freight and give yourself like a bus or a hub. What's up, Cake? What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Yeah, sorry I wasn't able to stream this afternoon. I had some volunteer stuff I was doing. Believe me, I this is gonna sound bad, but I would have rather you know, been doing that, but I promised. I messaged you on Discord. What's up, brother? Yeah, I didn't really check my messages until way later today. What's up, sweet cheeks? I think all the boys got the fabricator we were trying to get in Star Citizen, by the way. That's good news. Oh, it is? Certainly. Oh, I don't have you added? I don't? Sorry, I'm like... Discord's. You know, Discord's Discord. Let me see, do I have my... There it is. What is up, my dudes? Go through reports? Okay. I know we touched base on them. Oh, maybe it has been a minute. Okay. Let me accept you on Discord before I forget. So yeah, we're trying to build up here. I wish there's a way to like search this. I get so much noise in Discord. It's hard to know what's real anymore. There we go, I found it. Is that Will Smith on a Windows XP background? Yeah, perfect. I sound terrible, I took medicine. I have a feeling we're going to have to produce more pigment. Yeah, sorry, I was away from my phone and my computer for a good chunk of the day. Okay, so this is currently working now. Will Smith. We're clocking 1 per minute. I must have just put those down. Yeah, the rate in which we're consuming pigment's quite high. Yeah, so we gotta move a lot of this probably over the threshold there. Yeah, we'll jump on it, brother. Thanks for the heads up. I know we moved this over here. Oh yeah, I gotta clean this up. Can we do notes? We can do notes, right? Notes, notes, paper. There it is. Freight hub. Yeah, so I know we don't have blueprints or anything yet, so technically we kind of use like an empty island to kind of dump some of our copy and paste stuff, and that seems to work for us for a little while, so we'll probably do that. We're making a lot of white, gray, what is this? Gray. Is it a gray processor or something like that? We've got a lot of them. Cool, we're building this one up. We could do some of these, get us some more points. This one's kind of seized up for the same reasons as the other one. We're making droids, and that's cool and all. We've made 272. Let's see if there's any challenges we could kind of rope in here, because we're about to hit the gold standard for this one, and that's cool, so we can like switch production. Everything else is going to be blue, that's rough. Oh wait, no, we don't have these yet. Ooh, baby, we could do that. Maybe. Pin. And then this one. It's like a infinity with like some globs on the bottom. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. We do have 3 more tokens, so us expanding is going to be pretty easy to do. Still taking that one. What if we should take this back island? We've got oil over there. Ooh. Ooh, that's not bad either. Disgusting. That's cool. That's another turn-in point. Becky Big Cake Factory. We'll call it B10. Give us some room to kind of expand back here, because we're going to be doing some stuff that's relatively large. Okay, we have oil in the center. Metal on the side, so we can make this almost pure pigment, I think. Right, because we're looking at blue paint cleanup, so we could do our cleanup that way. And then get the rest through here. We do have a ton of metal back here still. Let me look at the tech and see if our rope stuff is going to cost anything major down the line here. Yeah, see how everything's kind of blue? We do need to make the blue processors. You know what? Blue shards. Probably the most important. That's gonna get our automation up. Our tech up, baby. I think us just trying to solve the problem now is actually gonna get us towards that anyway. Produces twice as many basic cores as the small version, consumes oil in the process. Yes, we're looking at these. So blue pigment, right? So other than that, Jade, you feel better? I don't know. I think it's about the same as yesterday. I feel congested now, and I was like, is it allergies? I don't even freaking know anymore. It's like, I've been sick the most I've been sick, I think, in my entire life in the last 6 months. Like, I don't know what that's all about. Okay, so we're looking at, we gotta make this to some degree, because it makes the processors that make this, right? Because the recipe for this is, yeah, see gray shards and then blue processors. So the blue processor comes from this guy. This guy, yeah, it needs 6 cores. So it's gonna need these cores. So we probably need at least 2 of those. See, and this all takes blue. And then we probably need to up our gray stuff production, which is gonna probably be, well, instead of 2 factories, we should probably just do, maybe this is where we end up clicking in our other island. And this is where the hub could come in. The freight hub would be nice. And we do have some nice island space down here. Like, this is, ooh, this isn't bad either. Brother, I might have to snag this. I usually don't like to put me on. Ooh, that's pretty good. Does this have some yellow in it? No, it has metal and it has blue, right? And what do we need for the pigment again? For the mix it? I think it's oil too, right? I love the factory name. That's amazing. It says, my bad. It says, I disappeared these guys. Just tried raiding us. He says, and our allies across the map came and Avengers smoked them. It says, we sealed as fast as possible. That's hot. Actually, the most beautiful con I ever seen. Well, don't forget, you can set your, remember, like the Xbox record like a higher res, and then like the last 5 minutes, if it's good, cap it. Set it to me if you want. Especially if you're pooping on some scumbags. Everybody likes that. Take a dump on their jizz. So we have some yellow down here. I don't think it's worth picking out yet. Right? Because in order for us to really tap this, I think this has to be a pigment island. You know what I mean? It has to be probably a couple of these guys. Which is involved. We need to figure out like a good, clean way to do that. This is the chain, right? Like in order to run one of these, we're probably going to have to, we might as well just pick out this factory while we're doing it. I already see this and it's already 960 bucks. So we'll probably have to drop one of these guys here to help feed this, right? We're just kind of sketching it out. We're going to need probably a few of these. I see it probably funding. This is core facility, advanced processing. So this would make the processors. So this thing needs, oops, helps if I have the right mode on. These would feed this. And then the refiner of pigment would feed it. Whoop. Oh, you know, we could just like draw a line. Yeah. These would go here. This feeds this. This big guy feeds this. And these guys eventually pipe into here. Now the question is, this is a lot of infrastructure. And I don't think we can fit this on one island. So the other question is, do we centralize the blue pigment action? Do we move pigment as raw dust first, or the paint? I feel like this could be a lot more efficient down here. Plus, we could probably move some of this because this is being choked out down here. We still have a lot of metal right there. If we're mixing any level of paint to any degree, it would be ideal that we have big packets of it and then ship it out. Maybe we can fit more. We could put another pigment plant or two out here, right? We'd have to feed more metal from somewhere. Here we go. Well, ask for metal. There it is. So we could tighten these up because this is 2 plants right here, but it pulls an excessive amount of material. But it's essentially making 2 of them together is almost, it's probably a little bit over 30 because I don't think this is outputting as fast as it could be. So technically this could be that area. So if we end up making pigment here, this is the dust that comes out. This has to be processed through oil to then make this. What is this down here? Is this like a robot factory? No, this is droid stuff. Maybe we end up moving this, right? Because we got to compact this. This was a very quick kind of ad hoc, not very good setup. Oh no, this is cores. What am I saying? Okay, so we kind of need you, so we need to put this somewhere else. Do you see our predicament now? We're kind of in the middle. Yeah, you kind of have to, if you hit the record thing, it kind of has to be like in the last 5 minutes of like when it happened. Put a post-it note or something up around your TV, you know what I mean? Or monitor or wherever you're playing. Kind of helps. If you want to. You don't have to. I'm just saying, if you got some cool moments, you got a platform to share it on, brother. And I'll be like, this comes from Captain Cake. So this is cool, and also basically if we're going to mix any paint, and this becomes anything in blue, we have to use this paint to some degree. So the question is, do we just bite the bullet, redo it now, and make this the paint pigment / hub? But remember, this island touches this. This could be throughput too. So honestly, if we're going to do anything with paint up here, I think we need to leave a decent channel down this bottom row here for the intersections on the islands. Oh, you could do like 720. That's probably good. We can get up to 5 minutes. It's up to you. I feel like we could condense this. This feels like a hot mess. Maybe we just take inputs and we create something that's like, okay, just kind of brainstorm here. We would have something that's like 2 inputs, you know, and then we have like the output that's like dust or something, right? So we know that we need to feed like 30 per second on each of these conveyors, and then we have our output as like 15 units of cores or whatever. So the question is, I think we have enough metal to kind of feed. I think since we have like a pinch down here, maybe this becomes the, let's just do this for like placeholder kind of stuff. We'll leave this as like a pathway maybe to connect islands. We're just trying to think ahead. We kind of did it here. I think we'll definitely need it down here somewhere. This definitely needs it to some degree. So if we end up putting a hub, the question is, yeah, do we just put the hub there? Do we just bite the bullet? Maybe. I kind of like this like back corner because then I think we just need to clean that up. We need to move our data cores out of here then. And the other question is, do we make a place that replaces... Yeah, we kind of need the cores like to stack over time. Cake wiener. Hey, that's entirely up to you, brother. I know we're using some of the pigment down here in processing and stuff, and that's the other question too. Like, this is a great little hub down here, but this is also a turn-in point. This could be where we do high-end processing for our big boy factory, this guy, which does white data cores, or processing units. We'd be pulling more metal, which we could get from here. And that's oil. Honestly, that's not bad. Do we have blue pigment on this side? Oil is the deciding factor to kind of boost production. Yeah, I think it's slowly coming together. Is this another data core? Oh, okay, so at least we have this running. So we could technically destroy this then. I'm just trying to organize it in my head here. It might be good for us to kind of judge how we're going to do this. This could be another, like, there's another turn-in point. These are good stretches out here. I think, here, let me just sketch out more of this. It makes sense to me to have a lot of this kind of for... Because we're going to have a lot of interconnectivity here. Maybe even 4 wide, I can kind of see that happening. And the thing is, I feel like the hub is so, like, space hungry. You kind of need to be. I guess it doesn't have to be, but... it's very crowded down there. Maybe I have to bring it up and feed it in. Do we have any blue on this side? A little bit. We're missing oil, though. We kind of have to make another purchase for that to be good. Like this. That's hot. So, yeah, these are kind of meant to be together. Along with this one. Yeah, these look like they feed into each other pretty nicely. And these cuts in the land kind of give you like a natural gate for everything else. Yeah, we'll save our tokens. We have enough to work with here. This island is actually really good for production. We could... you see the freaking metal on this? It's crazy. There's oil up in the front. Yellow helps us for future expansion. This one's really good. For this one, we ended up doing... What was it? Is this where we did a lot of our blue cores? We had to bring them over? If that's the case, the question is... maybe we do end up buying this. Oh, no, it doesn't connect right now. Oh, no, we got a connection piece right here. So realistically, we're looking at space like that. Yeah, all the more reason why we need to move this and tighten it up. This is like killing our major throughput on this side. I'm trying to still really decide where we want to put a lot of this. We need to process large chunks of this. Blue, wait, where are we? I don't even know where we are. This. And we need some decent storage because of the way the hub works. I almost want to feed it all on conveyors first. Do you know what I mean? and then work the hub in. It feels more intuitive to me. Yeah, this planning is going to help us really take the next big jump. We can produce almost everything here. Does this become our... How many units are there here? Can we select them? No. 8. So 16 sitting there. So roughly 32. We can pull from the side. Okay, so we do have more blue over there. Maybe this is where we produce it all. So when we make the blue... Our processing plant? I feel like I'm missing another step out of this, right? Am I crazy? Oh, here we go, here we go. This is what I need to see. So it creates the droid cores. The advanced processing factory needs 6 droid cores. This does 2 per, and it goes up to 4. So we need at least 2 of these, which we do have checked off. The green numbers indicate building produced respective to levels. I think we could do dust somewhere else and bring it in on a pipe out here, right? But the dust is made by I'm sorry, it's called, what is this called? Blue pigment. 8 hexacrystals, and then we'll make 4 of those. So we just need straight metal for that. So we already did. So we need about roughly 2 of these, but you already know how much metal that takes up. A lot. I was going to say, it doesn't seem that efficient. This is easily 32. The other question is, we have another thing that does output later. It's going to help us tremendously with the mining. Is it down here somewhere? Yeah, see, more blue unlocks that. Do you see how everything's kind of locked away? We can pull some more metal here for safety. And maybe we just crank it here, like we've been saying. So this is our new pigment. We'll have to move this. And maybe we just ship it over directly. I hate that this is clogged up down here. This metal's so good, though. Maybe we just pull it from here, because we have crazy amounts of metal. We just pull it. So if we end up moving these guys... Right? Boop. Pigment feeds right into oil and the mixers. Oil and mixers. So we've got oil here. I think they packed it on the edges on purpose. You know what I mean? I get it. Pigment's done here. We send it down the line all the way over here. We keep the process going over there, but the new pigment stuff gets shot down here. Because to make these beams and pipes and stuff, we need like a surplus of this. Okay, so this is pretty much solved. We've cleared up the platform for these. The other question is, do we have 32 units to feed this one? That looks like 16. Is there like a sleeper amount over here too? No, we already plugged all that. Oh, right here. Duh. So we're going to have to make this so much better. Well, let's overwrite this one, and then this will be B11. And that'll be when we start our big change. Mm-hmm. Blue pigment. These are cute and all, but like, how do we create a better... I'm reluctant to delete this. I am. Yeah, we can get a lot of the metal from right there. Okay, so we can't really move the data cores right now. We have a lot of blue pigment stored up. What's up? Says you're somehow stuck on my YouTube front page. What's up, buddy? I refreshed like 5 times. I mean, I guess that's good, right? Unless you absolutely despise me, and then I guess that's bad. What's up, man? I mean, I assure you, if I knew how to do that, I would try to do it every day, but... Yeah, I think we're gonna have to really gut this. As much as I don't want to. How much is this putting out? 60? Okay, so one of the things we really need to shoot for is, would that be hot? Overflow splitter? What's up? Yeah, as soon as I go there, my brain shuts down, and I come out here, I was like, oh yeah, we need this. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So this janky thing right here, the thing that paints, we need that to go up. Like a lot. The painting speed. I think it paints more for the same amount. Okay, there you go. Now it produces 3 paint per operation, so you're basically doubling it. And then the speed increase over here. So we need to be, we already have this. So we need like almost 600 data shards for that. That's crazy. That's a great thing, LS, is his videos are always on my first 4 recommended. What's up? Well, welcome back, sir. Both of you. Kisses. I was watching Rust videos, so maybe it was that. I mean, I do primarily, I main Rust console, baby girl. And only because this is like, just came out, we have early access, that we're playing this pretty heavy for a little bit, but Rust is definitely going to be in the rotation. I'll be honest, it was definitely on the board for tonight. I was like, ooh, I kind of want to get into Rust, but I was like, you know what, I think we can do it midday and then afternoon or nighttime tomorrow. Is everything else, like my prior commitments, IRL, we finished our stuff in Star Citizen. We're giving this some good love so we can rotate it in sporadically throughout the week so we can go back to our normal stuff. Which I'll be honest, I've got an itch for some Rust. Okay, so all of this jazz here, so this basic core facility, I think takes a decent amount of stuff, right? 80. Excuse, I can't read. How far behind is PC Rust compared to the console update? Well, it's definitely a hybrid. In some respects, they're right on the heels. In other respects, big gap. Our biggest thing now, which is pretty obvious if you've been following anything, is the lack of population and the map size. They really did need to focus on, as much as I don't like having new content and stuff. If you played it all, you know that performance has been extra bad. Um, Once that kind of catches up and whatever rhythm they need to hit for that, I think we'll start seeing better updates. I do give them kudos for at least communicating this year around. Because last year's, I mean, think about this. This time last year, we're sitting there going, dude, what? I was like, are they closing down? Like, they wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't talk to any creators. They weren't saying anything. And it was like, you guys went from like a monthly schedule to like just dead silent. So compare that. So yeah, this isn't news we want to hear, but at least we know where it's heading. So I think it's really going to pick up. But if they have really big updates, they also have to be careful about GTA 6 dropping at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Because it's going to overshadow whatever big stuff they have. So I think if we got some other big updates like Jungle, some Train. Well, okay, so they did talk about in the survey, the Jungle is on the board, and also even the naval update. So I was like, we're going to feel pretty up to date when we get that kind of stuff. There's still quite a bit missing, but compared to the gap last year, it's closing, if that answers your question in a very long way. Could you drop nades by drones on console? Not yet. That was I love that you asked that. That is the first thing we tested as soon as we got our hands on it. Now, I'll be honest, since the little tweak they put in now, because they said they did like some balancing stuff, they may have snuck that in. They've been known to do that. I haven't had a chance to get my dirty little mittens on one of the drones yet. So, you know, show up on our live stream and be like, hey man, try to drop some nades. I'd be like, oh, I got you. The first few times we saw it on the early, and then on main we tested it. It does not drop it, but soon enough. This patch notes are filled with stability improvements, so they should hopefully be picking up with speed and update timing. I hope so, because I get why they had to do it now, because technically if they needed to do the maintenance thing and they had some headroom for performance, they should push it towards where GTA is happening, because I think most of us would appreciate it then. Because it's like, you know, that would be nice, but like it was so bad they had to address it. And I give them props, if it's management or whomever. They gave us a hard conversation to be like, hey, this is where we're at, this is where we're going, because they've never done that before. So that's good news. I just hope that those improvements are good enough, you know what I mean? Like, because the improvements they put in prior to this one didn't feel very substantial. And I was like, guys, we got to really focus on this. Okay, I think I'm scared to delete this, dude. I am. Let's be honest, I am. I know. Let's do this. We can move it. We can move it. Oh man, do we have an empty island for this? Uh-oh. I don't think we do. We're using that one. I came back to the game last swipe for the first time since the XP system, really. Oh, really? Well, it was hard because, like, we're trying to, like, get back to, like, normal playing that we always do. And it was tough because, like, performance was so bad, like, at the front half of the year, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, we're, like, pumped up to play, and it's like, oh, I mean, we did a little bit, but, like, we couldn't use horses, and flight was problems. Okay, I think if we grab this, we should be okay. Dump it over here for now. We're making a big mess. If you're on when that drops, this is Jade. We should totally play. This is the best bodyguard for your CEO business you'll ever find. Well, I mean, we'll consider it, but like the problem is like it's not a problem. It's just time consuming, but we got to get people up to speed when they play with us, and we play we have to like we gotta move. You gotta have multiple accounts. The accounts cannot be connected to each other. You cannot friend anybody. You have to be here offline. Nobody can see your friends list. You have to rotate those things all the time. We can't stay in a server longer than a day or two. You know what I mean? And it's like the instant somebody leaks, we get converged on. And it's fine if like we're on our own server and playing community stuff, you know, that's fine. But like if we're trying to just play legit, it becomes a problem real fast. A lot of times we have a ton of loot and then we just gotta bail. So if you're ready for that and a little bit of grace period for us to feel you out in the process, then, you know, maybe. I want to be upfront with people when I tell them what we're kind of doing. So a lot of people are like, oh, we'd be swimming in loot, we'll be living on a server for long. I was like, brother, we're lucky if we get 2 days. I don't mind it, but I have found that people in the past have a hard time with that. Not everybody, but some. Oh, GTA 6? Ooh, I get you. I definitely want to play that hard. Okay, so this whole production we have here, this is super inefficient. Like, we gotta move this back in on itself, or we got wasted space right here. Is this handling all? Oh, the operator's full? Oh. Are we going too slow down here? Dude, look at the metal we're cranking down here. Okay, I gotta focus on this. So these guys are pumping the basics here. Let's just start over and get this on our list. How many are we doing on this? 32, 16, 16. Okay, so essentially we make a sandwich like this. So we could so essentially this piece is this piece cut in half and then flipped over on itself, right? Was that 8 long? Yeah, so you cut this in half and you flip it over. So if we make this again, then the output on this is like super high, right? How do we balance that? Well, let's just start making it. Okay, cool. We already started this over here. Beautiful. Is this a single stack? Nope. Big stack. Good. This doesn't sound like too much fun. It says, well, I'll be down to attempt that. And this was cool. It's like, we'll bring some action, but we sacrifice a lot. But like, if you kind of learn to like just kind of let go of the loot and kind of just do it, and we also like, usually the BPs get heaped on me or one of the streamers that's on the most. And then as a backup, only like support BPs in a very small quantity go to everybody else. So like if we're playing duos, then I would get most of the BPs, and then like you would have like a med pen and like pistol bullets, right? Because usually we're only there long enough to sustain that. It's kind of cool though, because like we kind of start small, keep it tight, kind of like go for plays and like for monument runs, and I like it like that. It's nice and cozy. And so like we'll push for getting like usually just a Timmy BP, and I'll try to craft as many as we can, and then we just try to run out there and do stuff. We try to put as much as we can on the base. We try not to accumulate a lot of sulfur. We only accumulate sulfur when we're ready to make a move, because then stream snipers wait for the sulfur to accumulate, and then they just raid you, and then you give them a raid for free. So you gotta play it smart. You gotta play like someone's looking at your homework the whole time, because they are. You're bitches. He says, I made a fish farm. It was good on scrap. Dude, those are legit. I think people are still sleeping on those. They're really good for money. Like, stupid good. Try to metal detect, rust. It says T2 semi-pistol. That's another thing I didn't really have a chance to do because like performance kind of became an issue. And then I got sick, right? Like, but yeah, I really want to like. That's something I didn't have a chance to do very hard on the PC yet either. So I was like, I really want to like try to push progression using just that. Man, what a janky way to connect these down here, right? Ugh. Here, I guess we can connect these in the very sloppy way here. And then we could put the burner here. Yeah, technically I think we need 2 feeds of like 30 per second of this. But it needs to be a double stack. So we're looking at 32. So we grab 4 here. It doesn't matter because I guess these nodes never deplete. So I'm always thinking it's like rust or we only have like a one-time build. It's not. We can build it all the time. Now, I love the building in Rust. I love the come up in Rust. I love the early game. Yeah, we'll stack these. And that's a pretty good starting point because most of these are stacked long. So we just need to start thinking about how we're going to cut these up efficiently because we've already done it. It's just we need to do it better. So this little counter here is to make sure we have a decent feed. I think we do. I like to see the numbers. So this is technically the input of our new machine. So if we do this right, we should be able to output 32 of these, 16 of this, and 16 of this. So essentially, it's going to fork into 3 different parts of the factory. This factory should look identical in the beginning. We make the sandwich, we put them together, and then we just have one extra step here, which is fold this one in on itself. Right? That seems pretty... Because I think most people watching would be chill until you get super big and then they want attention. Yeah, it's mostly a kid's game for the stream sniping, but there are full-grown adults that do it, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, we just try to mitigate as much as we can. So technically, if we have... So if we wait a second. If we have 2 feed here, and we're actually doing 64 voxels on each of these, do we need a better feed for this? Are we not? Is that why this isn't staying efficient? Ooh, that's like stopped up. Interesting. Maybe we don't stack it, right? We can experiment with both, I guess. Okay, let's go with this theory. What's the most effective way for us to build this? We could keep it at the same speed by stamping it and having 2 separate outputs. Right? Stamp it's just another fancy way to cut it. It also puts it in the realm of coloring one side or the other. Alrighty, boom. Like, what's the input on this? 30, output 30. So we just created 60 the same shape. So if that's doing 30, then we can hit you one more time this way. We'll leave like a gap in between so we kind of know what we're shaving. And we could shave this side and paint it and bring it back in again. Although, is this out at 30? Of course it is. The problem with this is this little piece of crap I don't think does 30. It does 15 per. Yikes. So we're going to have to split the load so it stays on top and feed it. We're making it big and floppy because we're going to bend it in on itself. And we can feed this back to this and this. Maybe to this. Right? Technically we'll have the same shape we have over here. Shloop. Shloop. Alright, so we did it, but it's super inefficient. Right? So we basically need to make this shape twice. Which we can do off of this line for sure. And here's the other thing. Let's put the counter here. Let's get crazy. And then let's put the garbage bin here. Let's see what it looks like. Let's get a real idea of what the feed is, bro. What kind of numbers we getting? Watch for advantages coming. Yeah, just people just looking over your shoulder and like the element of surprise is gone when people stream snipe. Yeah, it's super scummy. It's essentially, it feels no different than when somebody's actually cheating and using wall hacks or ESP where they can see you. It feels, it's funny because we played on PC for so long. We still do, but like when someone's using ESP or wall hacks or whatever, it has many different names. It's all the same shit. It feels the same on the receiving end. You're just like, ew, this feels scummy. And you're like, yeah, it's about the same. Well, and the thing, all the names are randomized, so even if they did get through, it's like no one's going to know who that person is. Plus, when have you ever been like, hey, do you remember that one guy who played with Shroud who stream sniped him all the time? Yeah, he's such a good dude. Said nobody ever. And you're like, hey, what was his name? Oh, yeah, that's right. Nobody gave a shit. Who's the guy who stream sniped Summit? He's such a cool guy. You know what I mean? If it were that easy to get famous, don't you think everybody would be doing it? It's just people coming in new to the game that think that's how you do it. Just like the young kids come in and go, I have to be the best, and that's how I get famous. And you're like, not really. Not really. Even Shroud had to like not compete and just start streaming and have a personality to make money. He could just play off, you know what I mean? If there was a bracket for it, he could play and be like good, you know what I mean? But like, there's no money in like competitive sports, dude. Not enough to like survive. You big horn money at McDonald's, dog. Real talk. And you'd be working way less. Do what you love. Have a story, have a perspective, have a personality. No matter what it is, whatever excites you, that's what you should engage in. The time and effort people use to stream snipe, you should use to create something. And people will find you for that. And that's it. That's the secret. I feel like we could push this up. Okay, so we're getting about 20 per. Not bad. Maybe my channeling sucks a little bit. We got off of that one route, right? So this is one deviation off that side. Not bad. So we could technically do this, right? Kind of sucks we got on that side because this thing's right in the way. So what if we just did this, right? What if we just tipped it up? Is that like a bad idea? I hate this long line here. I think that sucks. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like we can make that tighter. What am I missing, guys? Yeah, Greek. But that's like, that's one guy. But also, where's that guy now? Know what I mean? Didn't really have any staying power. As soon as he lost the thing that people connected to him with, which was him being overweight and being somewhat relatable, that's why he stuck around. It wasn't because he stream sniped. You know what I mean? Like that bought him maybe a little bit of fame to like, but he had to like carry himself through it. But I mean, I think since he lost the weight, he's lost his confidence in a way, and he's focused on other things. Which is fine. If you're rich, more power to you. If you made your money and you're happy doing what you're doing, no shade. But like, you see what I mean? As soon as you are happy and like engaged with stuff that you like. That's what matters. Just assume that you're not going to win the lottery and that you're going to have to do hard work to get there. So you better make damn sure that you're doing something you like. Otherwise, you're on a fast track to burnout. I feel, okay, so everything has to connect back into this. So we're getting about a 30 output. I feel like this is such a crap. We just bend it back around this way, maybe? Okay, hang on. Let's just leave this here. We are accumulating more points. Beautiful. Yeah, I knew, as soon as I said that, I was thinking of Greek, but he's the only guy. Getting famous by being annoying is no way to live. That's just me. The painting of this does make this a little weird. I think maybe the first way we had it was probably okay, maybe? I just hate the way we have to tuck this in here. It looks like crap. This might be a little better. I still don't like it. But, yeah, it's compact. This might be it. This one's cute. We'll slide it over here as a maybe for later. We'll use this, and I think we just replicate this. Where's our input again? Is it... there it is. It's right there. Okay, so we would technically have you as this. Ah, but it puts it on the end, doesn't it? Damn it. So if we did this as a copy, right? Does this even make sense? Losing your following because you lost weight is so funny. I mean, he was a funny guy, and he still could be, but I think it's like when comedians lose weight that we're fat. They kind of like, they put everything on that, and it's like, just keep being yourself. You know what I mean? Or like if they get attractive and then they lose the thing that made them relatable. There's people that can do it, and it's possible, but I don't know. You see that sometimes and go, is that really where you want to go? Now this is going to make it stupid confusing, but I'm a fan of probably keeping this more symmetric. I feel like we can tuck all this extra garbage in here. Am I crazy? Right, if that's the input, we just flip it. Right, because it doesn't really matter what's in it. We technically need the counter there, do we? Ooh, do we just fix that? Ooh, that might be way better. Hold on a second. Ooh. Am I drunk, or is this like... Did I just fix it? Did I make it worse? Did I break it? You know what? You know what? Would it be better if this was... That's a little better. Yeah, like I was just thinking about a Greek guy the other day going, where is that guy? You know? He had everything going for him. He just kind of like disappeared. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, right? Now what's interesting is we could take the rest of the feed that came through and maybe push it to the center as like a center channel. Maybe? Alright, let's run the throughput on this because I think I'm going to mess this up real bad. I don't really know what I'm doing. If we do this right, we should be able to connect these things in and it just does it, right? Right. So technically it's this. Wait, was our cut right here? Okay, yeah. So this is our split, really. Split comes from here, and we feed it this way. And the input is a stack of 1 by 2, right? 2 blocks on top of each other. Should be able to feed it this way and this way. Let's get the counter going. And one going this way. And maybe just a sample off the side here. Not that we really need it, but just to make sure the flow is happening the way we think it should. And that should spin up for a second. We can talk. Yeah, my guess is that type of acting out that he's doing is it to get attention, but also maybe some desperation. He's really painted himself in a corner. Alright, so that's 8. So if we get this going, then we just add an extra branch here that cuts this in half and folds it. So technically we could do something like this. Take the feed. Just cut it. Right? Oh my. I want to back up. I want those numbers to be accurate. Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, well, so much for it being accurate. Oops. This one has to catch up because we stopped the line here. Yes, very good. Is this only doing 30? This is only putting out 30. So it's interesting that the input here, and then we kind of double it by splitting it this way. Turns into a 30, 30, 30. And then if we handle it on each side, we should keep the balance roughly 30. And then we just split and then flip it on itself. We're technically making the other piece. So technically we have these two at 30, 30. Yeah, for sure. Is there a conveyor at constricting point here? No. Maybe? It's interesting. When it was all backed up, I had a bunch. I guess our output is there. Oh, I know. We need to put more on the line, dude. This is only putting out 15. Right. Hmm. Is somebody we can like pass what he did? Yeah, I don't know. It's too murky, and the fact that he was shady about it in the first place, and the other stuff, I just don't think people trust him. But I get it. Yeah, he has a loyal fan base, but I think what he's doing now is just to kind of act out. All right, so okay, well our output is not very fast because of the we could just pipe them together. That technically should increase it to 30. I just calling out people, just talking crap, and you're like, all right, guy. Okay, guy. I think we should probably try to squeeze these guys in here somewhere. 2 of them. So it looks like we'll have a feed of a double stack, a 1x2, right? So it's 4x8, 4x4x8. We'll probably have to keep it at 15 because this is our output on the extractors is slow, but that's okay. That's why these are yellow. Oh no, they're turning green. Okay, never mind. Oh, it's because we're feeding the other side in. Okay. As soon as we cut that productivity down. Okay, that's why we're getting yellows across the board, because our output's not as high. Got it. So we could technically take this flap and maybe fold it in on itself this way. Either way, we've got the 2 different outputs we need. We've got this one and this one, so we have half. The real question now is, do we just take a square? Well, technically this is for 1 building, right? We need a 32 for this one. So do we have 3 lines that go in on this? All right, well, let's cut this off, and this will become the other input. So do we cut this bit in half? What are we doing? We could do like some stuff in here that speeds up the process, and like we have like the feed artificially increased because we cut things. We might end up doing that here. Here, let's go ahead and cut this in half. Rip. Or even better, let's paint it before we do anything. So as this comes in, we're gonna have to split it and paint it. Yeah, because the whole unit's black, so. And then what we could do, this might be crazy, but let's try it. I think this might put us up to 30. Let's try this. I didn't try this before, and maybe this will be a good, maybe this is good, maybe it's bad. What's interesting is we'll create so much of a crazy output for this, then maybe we can use it to feed the other side. Let's make a trash can, and then let's make a counter and see what we got. rate 60. That's a bit high for us, isn't it? The cutting artificially boosted us a bit too high. But if it goes down to, not 13, but 15, 16, 17, yeah, 15. 15 yeah, 15 is half of 30. And technically, so we can increase it to 30, which means this output equalizes at some point. And I think if we hit this one here, then we'd have to do this kind of split. Is that the full size we need right there? It might be. Then essentially this cuts and it can feed the other side. So if we have another branch like this, so we'd have to have 3 inputs total to feed 2 pigment houses. So really we need another 8 over here, and I think we'll have what we need. So while that's equalizing, we're trying to figure out the math on that. Let's go ahead and bake up another set, shall we? Oops, I should probably move that one up. Sure, let's do this one from the back, maybe? And then over, in, and in? Question mark? And then this should be over from this side. Rotate, in. Is that right? We good? Yes. Okay, and now we could put our combiner thing here. May have to slide these around, but I think once things increase, this will kind of scale with what we need. Is kind of what we're looking at. What a nerd. I like doing this kind of stuff because then when we go back to Rust, I feel like my industrial game's freaking on point. Anybody else a big nerd like me? I love it. Put another one of these conveyor things over. Sure. That'll work. Okay, so these are putting out about 15 per minute. I always want to say meters, but it's per minute. Metrics. That Queen's math. Yeah, so if we hit this, we're going to double this to 30, which means this can feed the other 2 sides. So essentially we need the new line that comes in. So this is actually technically the line that we're going to use. This is technically the line we should be using for this side. It becomes the split. And then this side is replicated on the other side. So the other question is how do we have this interlock with this? And the outputs technically come here. And so do we just stick these units in between these guys and just kind of wrap it? I kind of like making this module. I'm packing this tight. And then we just kind of feed the lines where we need it for now. And then if we need to make adjustments, I guess that's what, you know what, let's save it. Now that I'm thinking about it. And then we'll call this one B12. B12. Okay. Like he's got that big cake. So we could slide this up actually. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoop. Probably slide that up. Well, that's pretty good. So the other question is, does this fit in on itself like that? Oops, right here. The unit measure in US is slugs. I just like saying that. We rejected Queen's math. We rejected it when we threw the T in the harbor, dog. America. hate having that big gap in the middle, dude. I feel stupid and inefficient, but you know what? Maybe these big gaps are good for, like, tunnels. You know? Maybe. I hate that it sits there like that. I feel so stupid. I meant to do that. Let's move you down. So technically, if we needed to move some tunnel pieces through, we could over on the spine here. So this is like going to be our symmetry line, and then we can, I guess we could just fit this on the top, right? That kind of fits in nicely in this little like weird gap we have. And then this could feed both sides. Just a kind of spitball in here. We could technically bend this down. Nah, that makes that kind of uneven, doesn't it? It looks like shit. See how we're just tightening up the little gaps now? Yes, very good. I like this getting jammed in there. Look at this. We've now compacted all of this noise to something very trim. Got some trim coming in at 12. Slide it down. This game starts to reach zen when you are at one with the copy and paste. Much like Satisfactory. I don't know how I feel about the gap here, but it is what it is. This will get cleaner as we get more technology, but I think that'll work. Okay, so we can technically take this whole strip, right? This is a functional piece. Let me go ahead and save it before I fuck something up. This piece here should technically be copied and then flippable here. Yes. Nope, just kidding. Those are the inputs, right? And then this is the new one, right? We got tags on all those. Feeling pretty good. Now we know what's coming in. Is it producing the way we think it does? And can we clean this up? I hate those gaps. I hate them. So is this coming in as a double? Okay, so we do need to split this. It's coming in as 30, so we technically we could just slam it. Down the middle. And if we're feeding it to two different locations, we could technically do this. Or we could stretch it. That's what she said. Yeah, right there. That's two inputs for this. Dude, raw. Next question. Okay. How does this fit in there? And what's his boyfriend look like? Boop. How do we efficiently stack this? I feel like we can get a pretty decent wrap by jamming them in there. And maybe we fan these out to the side so it looks a bit cleaner. I almost want to buy another ticket island so we can like put the copy and paste on it. Let's at least, you know what? I don't want to buy this one right now, but we're going to need a copy and space location. This feels pretty good. I'm not going to lie. This one, pretty tight. Just, we'll put it here for now. I do hate fractions, though. I'll be honest. I despise them. So technically, the center... You know what? Let's use the symmetry line. This becomes the symmetry line between these, and that feeds down the middle, whatever that looks like. Right? And then maybe we fan these out off this side. And then we can tuck them in more. I'll just get the read on these. This one says 20, but that's because this line was charged. Flowing, it's 15. And does this output come out here and just splash like this? I feel like this is way tighter. Yeah, we got these gaps and it kills me. This could be the line here, and then this pops out here. Becomes that side, maybe. There's 3 inputs, right? Yep. This one goes down the middle, kind of a no-brainer. That's the spine. Could keep it more rigid. This goes this way. Yeah, it would work. We could use the split thing on this. What the fuck is a kilometer? Pretty much. We pick this up, tweak it, move this over. That way we're hitting the bend just right. We're hitting that bend. Oh yeah. This becomes the short side, that's the long side. 2 and 2. We can feed it evenly. And it does give us a little bit of gap. I don't like it, but it's something. So, and we could keep this pretty flush. We could clear up this whole backside, really. It does make it kind of like a stout chode, though. Yeah, see, we're getting solid 15 off the split. That's a solid feed. Although we need 32 for those, don't we? Son of a b. Do we need more from that side? Did I miss one of the outputs? No. So we're a bit shy on this one, eh? Do we need to double up that center line? Center line comes from here. So do we get stupid and do this for now? Maybe? Kinda? Let me stack these. Okay, so we have 4 right here, right? The burner is here. We could take this one, maybe. feed them here. See, it's taking like every resource we have just to get this like... I remember blue was like a big stopping point when I played the first time. Okay, so we double the input on the center line, which is this, which technically should scale, right? This should increase these up to like 30-ish. We're not going to hit the exact numbers, I don't think, but... So we stack up that center line, baby. I don't like seeing that. Ouch. Why is that one stopped? Do we have all the stuff in there? Did I screw something up? Oh, because we cut the line. Yeah, I'm smart. Oh, it helps if I select what the pattern is, huh? That's weird. That's why I like seeing the numbers. We picked up the load balance problem in the middle. There we go. See, that's closer to 30 now, baby. Because this is used to kind of force multiply it. And so is this. Yeah, boy. That's how you use the equipment to your advantage. If we brought it in and then tipped it out, I don't think that would help. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe this is a dumb idea. It's okay. We try this. We might be a little close for this. Maybe not. These little, this 2x4, this 2x6 gives us the ability to kind of channel pipes through there. I guess that's the upside. Alright, these are coming through now. Good, 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 good. What are those numbers? Like, my dude. The other question is, this could really be anywhere, but this would service these two. We could delete those. So we have crazy pigment production. So then we need to scale this next. I love this shit. It says, I like US units until physics says, yeah, when you're doing that kind of stuff, metrics is, I mean, you know, okay. I'm going to make the shed thing here, probably. And we'll put a counter on there, too. I just want to get a feel for just how much we're producing off of this. I want to stay away from doing deep storage, even though that's exactly what I'm doing. Part of me wants to see, can we slide it out one more time? Does that make more sense? Can we do a 3 swing on that? Long pause. The cranes, I think, do they go out to 3 now? Reach. Crane amount, 12. Crane reach? 3. Okay. Everything else is locked under blue, damn it. Do all of this. Getting a good balance of pigment is going to be a game changer for us. Yeah, so how about we take this little guy that goes here, how about we slip it right in there? Is that dumb? Maybe. What if we did do that? Is that a bad idea? Yeah, dude, wouldn't that save a lot of space? Because then we could technically actually, what if we did this? Now we're talking. We can actually slam that right up in there. And then this could be... Right? Oops. And then, ooh, you know what? We could... Oop. See? We can get that wedge that right in there, boy. This makes more sense at this point. And then... Ooh, that feels way better. Doesn't it? Yes, very good. We could technically bring this guy over one. Oops. Flip. Right. And then move this in. And then we're operating off of... It's only reaching 2 for either side. Such a clusterfuck over here. We just make one of these, or just dent it. You know what? Probably not. Couldn't we technically bring this in on... You know what? Fuck that. Yes, we're doing it this way. Because, yeah, that one's in the way. Okay. Does that slide in there? Kind of. It does kill our 2 overlap there. You know what? We're leaving it. I like it like that, because then at least we can move it around. That's a tough one. You know what? We could just do this. Just slide it out a little bit. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Not my first choice. But, you know? It's compact. It would work. Yeah, we should probably release the grinding units. So we can actually get real numbers in here. That is sitting there like that, dude. Yeah, that one's out the door. I know I said I want to conserve that, preserve it, but yeah. Push can and shove. We need better output. Yeah, having that on the side would be ideal. We just slide it over one. Yes, the answer is yes. That's what we should do. And now this becomes that. Sure, not pretty, but better than what we had before. Okay, center track is now, do we have all the little munchy things gone? Everything's seized up because we're not outputting anything? To be fair, that's not very efficient, but hey, that's alright. I don't think this needs cores either. This is just chewing up metal and then colored parts. That's it. Right? Okay, let's put those on auto upgrade. Makes sense to me. Crank it, dude. Do we have anything for overflow yet? Probably not. Well, we just doubled it up. Looking good. Talk through it a little bit, but we got there. Little sketch idea over there. We'll just leave it right there. Okay, so we need to tackle this one and do this en masse. We still have enough room if we need to hub down there. Yeah, boy. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to feed these. That goes in down here. I forgot completely. Yikes. Okay. That's okay. Okay, so that's the new feed. I think we had it all over here, right? Let's do 45 per. It may not be enough to sustain that side. That's why we may have to bring these over. You know what? I'm not going to split it there. 'Cause this one's running so well, we're going to leave it. I think that one back channel we have over there, that's where we're going to pull it. Yep, that'll help keep this more solid. Yeah. Well, you know what? Couldn't we do this? Even better. And we have room to do the stack. Perfect. Still have more metal down there. That's cool. Nothing but Jay filling up the chat. Is this not paying attention for a second? I got you. Cool. The first little bit of our production's coming down the pipeline. Very good. So technically, alright, so if we have a mixer, these are doing 15 per. Right? Technically, that's what these are. $7.5 a piece. It's gonna create 30. That's good. How much is this producing? Oh my goodness, 60 per unit. That's crazy. So we don't, yeah, that's crazy. Technically, we're pulling it over here and then mixing that. Sure. We could technically pull a split off of that. This is like a weaved mess. What this is turning into down here. That's 30, and then the next one becomes 60. The real question is, so we need a decent split of both. What does that look like? Do we feed it from the side? Do we feed it down the middle? Kind of like that, because then we could technically... Hmm. Beautiful. What if we took... this? Yes. Very good. Yeah, this one makes the most sense, I think. Even though this creates this crazy, goofy line, right? Unless... nah, it's still pretty, doo-doo butter, hey? That's the other thing, too. It's like, what? This array looks weird. We could feed it from the side. Right? Yeah, that's getting goofy. What a crazy load balance. Like, that looks insane. But it works. Yes, I think it does. Very good. That's technically what it would look like. This is doing 52, which is a lot. And that's off the split. Yo. There we go. We got about 15 cranking on that. There we go. 30 on the ends. Alright, yeah. That's a balanced. Okay, okay. Blue is currently being solved. B13. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, so that pretty much effectively takes that in our current old version, and it works. Good. So we've got like a 60 blue paint output. Hot. We're going to be taking that from somewhere else, that's for sure. We're not even taking the pigment from that side. I think this back chain here is going to feed our blue situation for quite some time. Ooh, that stinks. Okay, let's go back to our original sketch here. So to make... okay. We can make this one better for sure. Should we create a channel down here for this? I think we probably should, huh? I don't know if we're going to keep it long term, but... should at least bring some of the blue pigment over, I think. Probably. Excellent. I, the leader. Oh wait, I screwed that up. Hold on. Nope, no, I screwed that too. Hold on. Okay, that's spaghetti, but that's okay. At least we get a little bit going here so we can do our test. Okay. Okay. Alright. Do we have metal chunks over here? Oh yeah, we do. Perfect. Let's move this over here. Maybe we just do our test down here. This is our guy. Place it. Pin it. I feel like we could do this one so much better. So we're looking at 32, 32. So probably full stacks. They look like long units. Yeah, we'll do what we did before. We'll put a line on it and see if we can't get a consistent output. Depot. Charge the line. No. Get an idea what that roughly is. Probably be like 15, but we'll accumulate enough. So technically, this is half a stack. We have 48 on the volume, 48, 48, and then 32. This becomes the scraps of these, so I think we can have 2 full inputs at a 1x2, and we can paint that. I think that's kind of the quick math we did. Quick math. Right. Alright. So I almost want to do it from the back and get it kind of efficient first. Maybe this guy. Right. Yeah. No. Yes. No. That won't work. This might. No, it won't. Would that work? Come on, get the last stack. Woo! Okay, so that's one. I do kind of want to pull it from the back. From the back. Probably have to reconfigure that later, but that's fine. Yes. And we found that painting one column was the most efficient way to do it, and then we paint everything counter to that. Right? Right. I think that's the conclusion we came up with. Something to that effect? Sure. We should probably just do it up here, to be honest. Coming back up. Yeah, right? Yeah, so really we work this piece, right? And then the scraps for this end up being this and this. The white trim. Is that right? Am I out of my mind here? I might be. I can't remember how we did this one. Do we end up cutting a block in half? All right, let's mess with this because I'm not really sure how we're going to do that. All right, no. Time to paint, bitch. Nope, paint. Yes. Yeah, there we go. We'll just do this. And that's the one side. We use the under thing for this. Sure, and then paint it that way. That way we're not dicking around with the paint too much. Okay, 15 off the main line. That's not bad. Alright, so this one's probably 30 per. Probably. Technically, we could converge it. Okay, so we paint one of the columns blue immediately. That's cute. So I'm instantly thinking we just cut it in half. Like a half slab. Because it's 4 wide, and essentially we just cut it down the middle. Yes. And then I guess we kind of do this, which is almost the exact same thing. We'll just do that. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a cluster pretty quick. That's fine. We're fine. You know what? We could stamp these outright. That wouldn't be a terrible thing. Actually, yeah, we got more room on this side. Let's do that. I don't really know what that's going to look like. It would make sense since we're going to do the cut twice. Why not just do the cut ahead of time? Right? It's going to be that. Oh, but you know what? It's going to mess up our... You know what? That's fine. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, whoops. Maybe we do need to drag that down. Hold on just 1 second. Beautiful. I realized the centerpiece was going to take that up. My bad. My bad. Let me just put the trash can over here. Trash can over here. Just let that run for a minute. Says you're out of your mind, but not because of this. What do you mean? Oh, I'm just out of my mind. I'm crazy. Oops, I like that dump feed we did right there. Boy. We should put the other calculation on that side, because this is going to turn pretty complex pretty quickly. Okay, we have the garbage hoppers coming through. Beautiful. As it calculates, I kind of like to just, you know what I mean, stretch it. Long pause. I'm out of my noggin. I'm out of my mind. Really? It's only pumping 60. Oh, that's because the side dumped. It dumped. Okay, so while we're getting those calculations. Hell yeah. Yeah, so we should keep the throughput at roughly 30. This splits it up into 2 individuals. Individuals. That's interesting because we could technically combine these and then this could handle the 30. because this is technically a step down to 13. So this would help condense that piece. See, this is the information we needed. Oh, that's right, because it was stacked up. So technically it's 15. Got it. If it went up, it would stack with it. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, technically we should leave this because if we double up the line, we want it to be able to handle the load. What's coming out of this is pretty slow. Okay, so yeah, it's like single numbers. Not so bad. Not so bad. I don't know if it makes sense to chop it there or not, but... Okay, so this is roughly about half on that side. It's matching whatever comes down here. We could almost take a split. Is that what I'm doing? Oh no, so we're like kind of replicating. Okay. Getting there. Pieces and parts. And this is what's going to make the core. So technically, we do have a lot of extra pieces out of that, don't we? I think we're going to get some valuable pieces of this equation here if we follow this to its conclusion. Right. really, this should be this. Oops, didn't mean to do that. My bad. Like this should be a copy of this, rotated. Just let that run, see what kind of tendrils. We're creating tendrils. Very good. I think when we combine them down here, it's waiting too long for that. I think the byproduct here should be combined. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Meant to move it. That can become the lip on the bottom. Let's see, this is something we never really tested before. So if these are coming out at the limit, I feel like we can do something with those, but maybe that's a missing piece because these are all 32, 32, 32, but most of them are 48 voxels, but this one is not. So I think if we have missing parts here, then maybe we kind of fill in the blanks. Because we have to do more operations here to stamp it, because we can only stamp one time. What if it makes more sense to do like a additive piece to it? I see these are coming out 15. This one will come out 15, so that's 30. That's hot. Okay, so that's coming out at a good clip. We gotta match this side with the same energy. Energy. I think we will get, once we get the balance, we can kind of figure out the rest. Because I only want to paint this once. Technically, this would speed this up like crazy. So do we only need to do that once? At 15 and then speed it up to 30? Is that what we toyed with last time? I think so. Yeah, let's just cut this line. See what we get. Yeah, because if this is painting at 30, I'm sorry, geez, 15. We could crank it up to 30 by doing a split. Right. Technically. Boom, all of a sudden the 15 went to 30. It's kind of a way for us to cheese it. And, dare I say, as it comes through one more time, we can speed it up again. Right. Because it come out one more time. Just split down the middle, on that side. And that can actually be doubled one more time. Split that again. $10, $20, $40. I don't know if we used the cut twice, because that's a little... Oh no, we split it. So that took the split and evened it out. So then this doubled it. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay. Okay. Let's just let it run and burn out, and then we'll reload it again. I don't want to waste all those materials. And maybe this is the spine, right? Because remember the other one we kind of had, we were able to replicate things pretty quickly. So it's being fed 8 or 9 at a time. Yeah, so actually this takes an input of 15, which saves us on paint. We don't need a lot of paint output to match that. Cranks us up to 30. Hot. Which, to be fair, yeah, this center line could feed both, because if we're going to do a 15 output on all those, which is slow, we could do a whole nother line of the double stack. Okay, so that's making more sense. So we need a feed of 3 of those. Alright, I'm starting to see the map. I'm starting to see it. Wait, it's the 36 is crazy. The 36 is nuts. Okay, yeah, so we're getting about 30 on that side. Yeah, okay, so the blue section is the spine. So maybe these pieces that come off of this need to be closer to the spine here of Symmetry, the fold. Because we'll take these pieces to assemble off of this. So that it's starting to make more sense now. Okay, let's load it so we're not wasting those pieces. Baby. And then the stuff that paints it black or white, we can put on the outside because it's actually the painting gets large, and then the stamping and then reassembling gets quite large. So we build off that. Okay, that is the Symmetry line. That makes a lot of sense. And our input's only 15. I do like that a lot. And then it looks like we may need a third line that does 15 per, which is totally fine. We can handle that. What are we, scrubs? I mean, come on. So we need another 8. Okay, so 8 on here. Yep, we can use this to feed the other side. Yeah, doing that as like a load balance too is like a whole nother exercise, I think. I like it. Okay, so technically that would be the centerpiece that comes down. Okay, so at least we have another feed. So, okay, we're good in that regard. So this white piece that comes down, are we creating 15 on each side? I believe that we are. Oh no, we combine it, and that becomes the 15. Ah, this is where we get the extra piece. Okay. Just remember, for the centerpiece to feed both sides, it needs to be 30. And if we're assisting that side by the white trim, This is coming out at 15, so that's where the extra piece comes in. Because I noticed it was the slowdown last time. So with these extra pieces will be combined into the white piece. So we got to figure this out here and then see what our throughput is and then how we're going to feed it into this white piece. Because remember, if blue is the center piece and we're painting at one time as minimally as possible, which we've done, and we input of 15 paint units and we're able to output like 30 of what we need, that's perfect. So we need to build off of that because the scarcity is the blue pigment. So the pieces that come off of this cut here help support the other 15 on this side. So we need to get this side painted and up to 15 per minute. And then we have a balanced system. Ah, okay, that's the puzzle. It's a lot of damage. So this becomes half of that, right? And that's going up to 7. And really we got to combine this side. Okay, so the stamp. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Meant to copy. Sure. So that's doing something. Did we do another split here? We didn't take off the main line? Kind of. Take that. That feeds to there. That becomes that unit. This is also that unit. Yeah, you see how this one's like waiting for the other one to come through? Oh, that's crazy. Here, let's shift all of this up. And then we use this as a split or a load balance. So it doesn't matter what's coming in, it just helps support that. Yes, much better. So I think this not being able to push out slows this all down. Right? Right. And then I think we combine these little bitches. It's almost like, yeah, see how it's waiting for one side? It almost needs to do this again. Combine and then toss. Oh yeah, there's the cut. Okay, I see. And that should speed it up. Right. Why is this one so damn slow? Oh, that's about right. It splits. I think doing it as a merge and then dumping it, so it doesn't matter which one's which. It should feed it in. So this should be going as fast as it can. Obviously, it's not doing 30. See what kind of sample we're getting off that. And then, wait, these are getting trashed. Oh, that's the main piece. Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, so those are 8 on both sides, which is good. This will support this as it scales up, because one of our expansions is going to be, as soon as this, where the heck is it? Extractor. Mining speed, there you go. So that'll change things considerably. So technically, if we smash this together by speeding it up, we can then throw it down the pipeline. This is a complex mess. I was born in the darkness. Is it tab escape? No. Tab control? No. What is it? No. Shift tab. Jeez. We haven't done the blue shards. Well, yeah, we cleaned it. Yeah, sure. So this piece and this piece, that makes 30. And then, do we have this up to 15 yet? I feel like we don't. Oh no, we do. If this creates the same piece, I think it does. Yep. That's the 30. I'm sorry, that's the 15. Wait, yeah, so are we... Am I out of my mind here? Ooh. These are pumping out at... These aren't 30. These are... Well, if we combine the other side, it's 15. Okay, so our math is off. So our output on this is 15. The output over here is 30 total. So we could double the input through here, and it would help. So instead of taking it from this main line here, maybe we just needed to get a straight pipe. That's interesting because we're essentially feeding two factories, right? So if our output for each is 15, this chain here makes sense. This is a little extra piece here to feed the other side. So we can actually combine this and throw it over here. That would help complete the longer bar at 30. So, okay, are we getting ahead of ourselves? Probably. So we did find that this goes up to 30. And to match this, we would have to have two of these skinny bars being fed, which is this. So this will feed one side of the factory, and these combined will feed the other side of the factory. Okay, check. One side of the factory is doing 15. Now, these are tracking at 15, the bottom piece. But what's interesting is, this is tracking, this could feed one side, and this could feed the other. So technically, we do need a little bit more juice down the middle. Right? Right. So another 8. You know, we could just take this line, right? Yeah, okay, let's do that. And we don't have to mess around with it too much. Which is technically going to up everything else. Which means, do we even need to, like... it's interesting if we don't have to really mess with anything else then. Would this feed both sides? Probably. So that's interesting if it becomes a load balance issue for that side. And we also need to think, do we need to combine these in a different way? We're prioritizing painting this once as the blue pigment's a resource or scarcity, right? But through that, are we creating this weird 1/3, 2/3 dichotomy where we've got an odd number, so then we double up the center line, and that becomes our line of symmetry if we need double the output, 2 droid core factories, right? Because we're trying to get efficiency, man. Yeah, see, if we combine this little cutie buns right here, interesting to see how all this spikes. If we double this center line, well, it kind of doubles everything else out, doesn't it? And it still puts us out of whack, because this is all part of the same system. So, do we need to feed this one separately? Or, instead of doing this, which balances it, do we flood it? Because we actually start with the same piece all the way down, don't we? Or do we just do a cut and flood the line? Alright, I'm grabbing a cookie. I'll be right back. Hurrah. What's up, gentlemen? Let's move this over here. We could compact this one a bit, probably. Oops, let's do this.
Delivery target complete.
Ooh. Alright, so my brain. Okay, let's tighten this one up. I like the way we had it up here. We had this unit. There. Because I think it's a good setup, for sure. Oh, there we go. Ooh, you know what? What if we did this? This would be kind of a hot move. Now we're talking. And then we could mirror. Might be too far, but let's try. Damn. Then as they do the output, we could bring this back over here, right? Ooh, I like this. This gets crunched down. I don't know why the other pieces aren't coming through here. Did I miss something? Probably. Not getting feed from that? What's going on, baby girl? helps if I go the right way, huh? No wonder. Okay, cool. I was wondering what I did wrong. I like the way that wraps around much better. See, that's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, that's right. It does have to split one more time. Okay, let's try this. There we go. You know what? No, that makes sense for it to be there. Sure. Yeah, we'll let that run for a minute. We'll try to fix this down here. Ooh. What we should do is cut this. Bring it back down to 15. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so then this whole unit becomes its own thing, right? Right. That's right, we gotta do. Okay, cut it. Bam. Are you buzzing? It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Holy shit. Now there should be enough to run 2 of the core factories. In theory. If this works the way we think it does. HUD. Got this little machine down here pretty tight. And if we have this all super efficient with the data cores, we should be cranking it. There you go, more freights. Got it. Yo. VIP. Let's kick it. Yes, very good. So we've got that's 30. That's 30. Interesantes. Oi. Oh yeah. I'll definitely take a look. Cake. Check it out. So maybe we need 4 total inputs. That would make more sense because I guess our surface area, that's I think what we're running into. This single line that comes down as a 15. Each one of these branches would have to be a 15. So this would be input 15, input 15. Because then this would cut into 30. This would be 30. So we technically have this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we need another 8. Technically. Technically. Bruzza. Cocoa butter. Yes. I'll go take a look. And we probably gotta wrap it up now because it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. As much as I want to keep playing, I should probably get rest. I'll give us a chance to kind of think about this during the day. Oh, yes. Then we can get silly. Yeah, this instantly cuts it into 30, and then this handles that 30. Then maybe we put this down the middle. Not this one, but... then we can feed 2 of them. Alright, boys. This game's fire to watch. It's super chill, right? Alright, gentlemen. We'll see you a little bit later. We should have Rust content happening tomorrow. And possibly a stream either morning or afternoon. Yeah, one of the two. I'm not really sure on the timing, but we'll get there. We'll see you guys then. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Love your bush. Yeah.